Entertainment World Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 4, and my thoughts on this episode. I didn't like it. I think this is the dumbest episode we've seen so far. The amount of mistakes in this episode, like, there's just so fucking many. I didn't enjoy the story. I thought Boba Fett was, again, acting out of character. And yes, I saw last week's episode. I haven't done a review yet on it. Might do in the future, but I was busy. But this episode was... I wouldn't say it's garbage, because there is one good scene in this episode. But the rest of it is total dog shit. Boba Fett is not acting like himself. He's speaking way too much. Fennec... I mean, I get why she's there, but it just feels like she's forced into this and doesn't really need to be there. And everybody else, I mean, it just doesn't feel like I'm watching a Star Wars show. It feels like I'm watching some fanfic of some sci-fi show that they're selling to sci-fi. It doesn't feel like, yes, there is great CGI in this episode. Yes, the Bantha looks fucking amazing. But other than that, the acting is definitely not strong. And the story itself, it's just dumb. Now I'm going to go into spoilers now, so you don't want to hear spoilers. Leave now, so in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with Boba Fett leaving... No, Boba Fett in the Bacta tank, going back in time to remember what happened to him in the past. Could have worded that better, but fuck it. And he's on a Bantha walking to going to Jabba's palace to go get his ship. When he gets there, apparently there's too much security for him to handle, so he decides to make camp and come up with a new plan to go get his ship. But whilst he's trying to make a plan, there's this scene between him and a Bantha, which I actually did like, because I didn't realise this, but Banthas are meat eaters apparently. Which again, I actually liked that, because it does make sense. They're on a desert planet, it can't be a vegetarian, because what the fuck is it going to eat? So, being a meat eater, it does make sense. And you know what? I'll give the episode credit for that. The Bantha stuff, I liked. But that's about it. There is another scene I liked, but go into detail later. So, whilst Boba Fett is eating this meat and giving some to the Bantha, he sees some flashes in the sky, and that's pretty much from the previous episode of The Mandalorian, where Mando was hunting down Fennec. So we pretty much get the scene of where Fennec gets found by Boba Fett, and Boba Fett takes her to this cyberpunk looking place. Okay, this doesn't make sense in fucking Star Wars. I know people are going to say there's plenty of people with cybernetics. It's never looked this bad before. Okay, like, it's just beyond stupid. On Tatooine, we got a cyberpunk part, apparently. It looked terrible. The whole thing just doesn't fit in Star Wars. Yes, Luke had a fucking robot arm. Yes, there was creatures that had, robot eyes and stuff in Star Wars, lore and in the EU. But it's never looked like fucking cyberpunk. And for God's sake, why would you even try to copy that? Cyberpunk was a fucking disaster. But again, it just doesn't make sense to put this in Star Wars. Like, maybe if Boba Fett went to Coruscant, that would have made sense. Coruscant is that place. It is kind of like Cyberpunk. It's a big city. A lot of weird shit happens there. Would have been good if Boba Fett, grabbed her, put him on her ship, his ship, and went to Coruscant. That would have been interesting. But we didn't get that. We got Boba Fett running to some cyberpunk looking place and getting Fennec fixed up by this mechanic guy. Who doesn't really look fucking right in Tatooine. Like, why are they dressing like punk rockers? Like, why? You're on a desert fucking planet. It all looks stupid. Anyway, the mechanic fixes Fennec. Boba Fett takes Fennec and tells her she's going to help him get back his ship. And then we get to the worst part of this fucking episode. They change the name of Boba Fett's ship. Like, what are you doing? Like, why? Because it has slave in it? Are we seriously to that point now where you cannot say anything that may offend somebody? Like, any little fucking thing. Slave One is one of the most iconic ships in fucking Star Wars. It comes behind the X-Wing, it comes behind the Millennium Falcon, but that's it. Slave One is an iconic name. You don't fucking change it to Fire Spray. And some prick out there is going to say, well, that's the model name. Yes, the model name. Because Jango Fett nicked the fucking thing and called it Slave One. And why would Boba Fett shit on his father like that by changing the name of his ship? It's called Slave One. Get the fuck over it, you fucking SJW cunts. And you can actually see in this episode, they say the name once. Because it's basically them trying to fucking, don't piss the good fans off that much. I mean, what do you think is going to happen here? I mean, we're all just going to forget Slave One and just start calling it Fire Spray? No. It's Slave One. Get the fuck over it, you fucking assholes. Anyway, Fennec sneaks a drone in. They figure out a way to get past the guards outside. They get in through the kitchen. They have this weird scene with the robots in the kitchen. They kill 2 of them and then turn off the little droid one after the Boba Fett chases it around, because it's supposed to be like a reference to it being a rat catcher, and now it's being chased by a big guy, so it's supposed to, I don't know. That's what happened. Boba Fett chases the little robot around and the robot turns itself off so he doesn't kill it. They then go to get Slave One, and when they get there, there's no guard, so Boba Fett tries to run to the ship, but then 2 Memorian guards come, and then Boba Fett kills one of them, and Fennec kills the other one. Good to see Boba Fett can actually kill someone again, because he seems not to be doing much in this fucking series so far. So Boba Fett gets onto his ship, and the weirdest thing happens in this scene. Boba Fett can't fucking steer his ship, and he's just realised the flaw with the Slave One, with the whole thing being on its side and with the cockpit, upwards. Like, I've always wondered that, like, why would you land it in a place like this? Boba Fett comes here a lot. Why would the Slave One be in this corner somewhere? I don't know. The scene just felt stupid. Like, obviously these pirate people, or, these gangsters, they probably use the Slave One. So why they put it in such a shit position? And the whole scene was dumb. It was just Boba Fett trying to fucking steer the ship out of the fucking tunnel thing. The door's fucking locked, so Fennec shoots it out, and Fennec and Boba Fett get out of the Jabba's palace with the Slave One. Man, it was just a dumb scene. I mean, what more can I say? So Boba Fett goes on the hunt for the swoop gang that killed the Tusken Raiders, and this scene was actually great, but my only problem with it is when Fennec says, how can a swoop gang kill sand people? I don't think the sand people are that elite. I don't think they're that good at fighting. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy, I would say, to kill sand people. I mean, they have sticks. They have rifles. I mean, they're not immortal, are they? I mean, I don't know. It was just a dumb scene between not Mando, Boba Fett and Shran about how the Tusken Raiders died, and it just seemed like sand people are pretty easy to kill. Look at Anakin Skywalker, how he slaughtered a village. I mean, come on. Not that difficult. I know he's a Jedi, but come on. Anyway. So, Boba Fett goes on the hunt for the Swoop Gang. This scene was actually massively epic. He shoots them all down. He uses his rockets. It was an epic scene. He kills all the Swoop Gang and revenges the Sand People like he should, because they were his family. Not his friends, his family. So I thought that was a good scene. And it's good to see that there's still a bit of Boba Fett in there. You know, the one that will kill people, the one who will revenge the people he loves. Because we don't see a lot of that in this series. We only see Boba Fett trying to be this peaceful bullshit leader. This is real Boba Fett, when he's going to kill you if you piss him off. But then we get to a dumb scene where Boba Fett goes back to the Sarlacc pit to go get his armour. Now, I thought he would have thought his armour was on the side where he got out the last time. No, the flipping moron thinks it's still in the Sarlacc pit, which makes no sense. How the fuck did you get out of the Sarlacc pit then? You still had your armour on. Like, it made no sense. Like, why would you think your armour's still in the Sarlacc pit if you got out of it with your armour on? And someone's going to say, maybe he forgot. It's like, no. How the fuck would you forget where you left your armour? Like, he crawled out of the Sarlacc pit. He still had his armour on. Like, how would... Like, it doesn't matter if he had, like, fucking... I don't know, he forgot about it. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense, because you got out with your armour on. I don't think you could forget that. Like, what do you think he did? Just take his armour off and crawl out through the mouth or something? I mean, my God, it's just a dumb scene. And just so we can have Boba Fett tilt the Slave One over the fucking... the Sarlacc pit, so he could take a fucking look. And he didn't think about the tentacles, the mouth. No, this is absolutely safe for him. Why? Because exactly what I thought was going to happen happens. The fucking tentacles grab the Slave One and start pulling him closer. It's the dumbest scene. Why would you not drop a couple of grenades down there to kill it first? Like, you don't like this thing, just kill it and then check. Why are you going in when it's alive? You have weapons, you have rockets, you have a seismic charge, which we'll get to, because that fucking gets used in the dumbest way possible. But why would you... Why? This scene doesn't make sense. And it's just to have a scene where I think it is to have Fennec save Boba Fett again. And it's just... Why? Because when they get tangled up with the fucking Sarlacc pit, the Sarlacc starts to attack them. Boba Fett tries to use his guns, but his guns are kind of in a shit position, so he can't kill the thing. So Fennec pushes a button to release a seismic charge. I mean, like, they were very lucky that bomb didn't get fucking stuck on one of the wings of the Slave One. Because that bomb falls in the exact place at the exact time, and that fucking thing eats it. Like, what if it didn't eat it? What if it left it on its fucking... What if he just didn't touch it? Then the Slave One would have been blown up with the fucking Sarlacc pit. This whole fucking scene was just totally unnecessary. And it was just to have that iconic bang sound. Why not just have Boba Fett fly in, drop the fucking seismic charge, kill the fucking beast, and then take a look? It would make more sense than putting your ship right over the fucking creature. Like, My God. It's completely stupid. So, Shran drops the fucking bomb, it blows up the Sarlacc pit, and then Boba Fett goes down there to check for his armor that's obviously not fucking there. And then Boba Fett says that Shran is free from his life debt, even though in the Mandalorian episode where he comes back, he says Shran owes him a life debt. Like, why would you get rid of that? Oh, she's staying loyal because she likes you. It's just to have this whole thing of Boba Fett not being like this slave person. Boba Fett not trying to be this bad guy anymore. And it's just dumb. You said it in the previous fucking show that she still was serving a life debt. I don't even know, man. It's just dumb. So much dumb shit in this episode. So Boba Fett releases her from the life debt. He offers her a job as his partner in crime, so he can take over and become a fucking mafia boss. He then wakes up from the dream out of the Bacta tank, and he's finally done with the Bacta tank. So we're done with the time machine Bacta tank storylines now. Thank fuck. And then Boba Fett calls a meeting of all these fucking gangsters to come to him so they can make a plan to deal with the Pikes. But we then get this scene between the Black Wookiee and the Trandoshans. I thought it was an okay scene. I like the fact that the Wookiee pulled off one of the arms, because this has to be the first time in Disney Star Wars we see somebody's arm get ripped off. Because Disney seems to be very, very, very shy about doing that in Star Wars. Because Finn can get cut by a lightsaber and survive it, but a Trandoshan can get his arm torn off and he dies. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I think he's dead. He didn't really move, but who knows? And then Boba Fett says, "Oi, mate, would you like a job?" Because he follows the Wookiee out and offers him a job, even though you had him at your mercy back at Jabba's palace. Why didn't you offer him a job then? Why are you just waiting until now to do it? Just dumb. Just dumb. Just absolute stupidity in the show. So we go to the fucking meeting where Boba Fett is talking to the other gangsters, and he's trying to say he's going to be a nice leader, he's going to be a friend to them all, he's not going to ask for a cut, he's not going to threaten them, he's going to be a nice person. And all the gangsters pretty much say, go fuck yourself. Until Boba Fett says, you don't have to be a part of the war, you can just leave and just don't join the Pikes and we're all good. And they're all just like, that's good for us, we don't have to kill anybody, we don't have to fight, we don't have to lose any of our money. Then fuck you, Boba Fett, we're going to fuck off and leave you to deal with the Pikes. Like, Boba Fett is the dumbest fucking daimyo, or whatever the fuck he's trying to be, probably in Tatooine history. Like, there's a reason Jabba fucking threatened them. There's a reason Jabba would kill them if he didn't do as he said. Because then they don't respect you. And it's just like, oi Boba, just kill one of them and they'd all probably fall in line, as you're supposed to be a fucking killer. Oh no, but he's leaving that all behind. He doesn't want to be that person anymore. What do you mean, the badass bounty hunter he used to be? What the fuck? So then all the leaders leave, and him and Fennec talk about what they're going to do to deal with the Pikes, and Boba Fett just says he's got plenty of money, let's just buy an army basically, let's buy muscle. And Fennec says that's fine, plenty of people out there will fight for money, and then the episode ends. Oh, he does mention he has credits though, even though Imperial credits don't mean jack shit, and you're on Tatooine where they don't accept credits. Like, that's the whole thing in, like, the prequels, like in The Phantom Menace, they pretty much say Republic credits don't mean jack shit. So I guess that would also mean Imperial credits would mean jack shit. Especially in The Mandalorian, where they also said Imperial credits mean jack shit nowadays because of the fall of the Empire. So what credits is he talking about? Why not just say he has money and just leave it at that? Instead of having a stupid fucking line like that. And that's the end of the episode. Not a good episode. I'm losing hope for this series fast. I don't think it's going to be a good ending. I already know what the ending is because it got leaked out. I'm not going to say on here, but it's pretty much to do with... Oh, I can't say that. But I know what the ending is going to be. It got released online, so if you look for it, you can find it. And I'm just kind of annoyed because it doesn't feel like it's going to be... It didn't... Anyway, I'm just going to leave that there. But yeah, not a good episode. Don't have that much hope for the rest of the series. And that's the end of my review. Hail the Phantom Menace, long live CG, and fuck SJWs. Bye.